What's up,
This
everybody?
is the
Welcome back
story
to
of
Let's Play the Stanley Parable. Now, this is going to be, pretty much just me trying to figure out all the different Shut up, phone! All the different
Stanley
endings,
decided to go to the staff lounge
other than
to
when you
check on
don't
his
listen.
co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to
Now,
him.
I've actually done through some of these, but my mic was off
When
during the
Stanley
recording.
came to a set of
That's
two
like the
open
second
doors,
time this happened.
this was not the correct
So,
way to
yeah.
the employee lounge,
I guess I'll
and
do this
Stanley
all
knew
again.
it perfectly well.
Whoops.
So he turned left at the first
Perfectly
open
fine with
door
it, though,
and
because
walked
it's
back
actually
in the
really,
right
really
direction.
interesting, in my opinion. So, I'm
Stanley
fine doing
was
this
so
all over
bad at
again.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Maybe this is why everyone had left. No one wanted to be around someone as bad at listening as him.
I'm
And
an
since he was walking into the middle of
just
nowhere
like all my
and thus
friends.
ruining the entire story, Stanley decided that he would punish himself. So when he came to the elevator and
such
the
a
doors opened,
dick.
he stepped inside and pushed the button to go up.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. No, I'm gonna press down. Oh, I can't. I guess I had to follow some rules. For some reason. Yeah. Oh well. So yeah, take two. I actually haven't seen this one I did, so I'm gonna yell on first off, but let's just see how this goes. Although I know how to not fuck this up. I somehow fucked this up last time I did this, so... Also, really interesting. Remember the end sequence of Half-Life 2 near the end? You had to write this thing?
It almost
This is a-
perplexed Stanley that he had actually gone and
Fine,
stepped
talk
into
over
this
me.
metal trap. After all, it should have been no surprise that this thing would lead him to his death. But he thought to himself, this is simply the price to pay for ruining a perfectly good story. So he resigned and willingly accepted his fate, the inevitable end toward which he had spent so long stumbling.
So long, it's been like
Stanley.
2 minutes. No, 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 no.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator as he sent his subject down the conveyor belt and into the enormous metal jaws.
Where'd this bitch come
In a single
from?
visceral instant, Stanley
What?
was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I'm confused. Huzzah! I'm free! Oh, I can't. What if I could already start? Ready start! Oh, okay, I guess that's not gonna happen, but, that's the first time I've ever seen that thing used outside of Half-Life 2, in any kind of mod. I'm actually surprised it used it. I'm surprised I haven't seen it anywhere before. Just an interesting, thing of information I saw on. Jump down!
It's a shame, then, that for all his work, it was such a
So I'm gonna
meaningless
say,
victory
just
for
in
the
case.
narrator. Did he really think he would accomplish anything
Yes!
by murdering this disposable vessel?
I don't know, there it does seem a bit like an asshole. Maybe he just gets off on killing people. I can't use anything, so I don't know why I keep trying. I can't talk. Huzzah! Hello, monitors. Oh, I don't know why there's a random valve here. That makes no sense. Now, the first time I did it, you see that thing over there? I actually got into it for whatever reason, and I couldn't get out, and I was stuck. So, yeah. I'm not gonna do it this
Every possible
time.
choice Stanley could make had been designed for him long before he ever set foot here.
I don't
The
trust
narrator
that.
wanted to kill him. Stanley was already dead from the moment he
sweet.
hit start.
It didn't kill me. Yay! Huh?
There's no salvation for either of these two, I'm afraid. The narrator had as little power over Stanley as Stanley did over the paths that he walked.
I'm confused. Is that
But
it?
listen to me. This story is not over.
No!
You can
No!
still save these
Damn
two.
it,
You can
no!
stop the program before they both
What?
fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking
No.
someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you
I'm not
do,
gonna
choose
quit.
it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Smack. Oh well. So am I actually dead? Is that actually it, or do I just wait a moment? What do I do? I'm confused. I don't see anything like. We'll wait like another 30 seconds. We'll wait until we hit about the 6-minute mark, and if nothing happens, we'll just start over, see the other endings. But that was interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna hit quit though, just see if the game actually is pulling something. When you hit quit, it does something else in this case. That's easily possible. Source is very good for modding and such like that. So we'll see how that works, especially since we only have like 6 seconds left. So yeah, let's just do that. Save. Maybe I had to do it beforehand. Who knows? Either way, too late now. Let's launch the game again. And let's do a different route. Yeah, I just want to see if that, for whatever reason, was actually able to do something. That'd been really interesting if they could pull that off.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I actually haven't taken this one yet, so let's see what happens. Anything? Oh wow, nothing at all.
As Stanley entered the lounge,
Oh wow.
he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
You know what? I don't like my boss. I'm gonna say
Coming
fuck
to
my
a
boss.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I guess that's the door upstairs opening up, but I'm not gonna walk upstairs. I'm gonna go down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the
Fuck you,
possibility of
narrator.
facing his boss, of admitting that he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, was it really worth taking that risk? All
Well,
because he
chessboard.
believed everyone had
Sweet.
disappeared? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to
I'm the
himself,
crazy
maybe
one.
I am crazy. Everyone
I'm
I
the crazy
know
one.
simply
The rest of you
vanishing
are
out of the
crazy.
blue. There's almost no other explanation for it. And a nagging fear began to creep up in his
All
mind.
crazy.
Questions that had been
the
there
crazy
all along.
one.
He just hadn't put his finger on them yet. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
That's a good
Why
question.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And
you
for
know,
that matter,
ghosts
these
and
rooms
stuff.
were starting to look pretty familiar. Was he just walking around in circles? Where am I, he thought. And the more he found himself unable to answer these questions, the more questions continued to
getting louder.
arise, until he came to the issue that had been slowly balling, until he could ignore it no longer. Why is there a voice in my head,
Wow.
dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Suddenly, every door slammed shut. No! Stanley screamed. I need to get out of
Fuck
here. I
you.
need to know that there's something out there. I need to know it's not just all in my head.
I
He screamed
win!
and clutched at his skull as the voice grew harsher and the music in the
shit.
background rose higher and higher. And then, moments before collapsing to the ground, Stanley clenched his fists and screamed to anyone who might be listening, I'm not real! I'm not real! Don't believe any of it! None of it's real!
I'm crazy.
And then everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She got dressed, went to work, clocked in, clocked out, and then she walked home. But her
So
walk
probably
on
really
this day was
tired.
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
guess I really was a
Moments
crazy
after
one.
seeing him, she would turn,
Lame.
run to the nearest police station, and call for an ambulance. But for just a few brief seconds, she merely stood there, unable to move. The tragedy was not the death of a single person. It was that she would never know this man's story, never hear in his own words what had happened to him, or what he believed had happened to him. For to know these things would be to exist inside the head of the man himself.
Well, this is
So all she could do
interesting.
was observe from a distance and pity him.
Oh,
But Mariella had places to be and people to meet with, very important people, whose impressions of her would affect her career and indeed the rest of her life. She stood there for only a moment, looking down at the body, and then she ran.
And then she never actually ran, she just kind of stood there like an idiot. That was interesting, but let's go back and let's actually go to our boss now. Yeah, let's go to our boss this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Entering his manager's
nothing's
office, Stanley was
useful.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. It was at this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out. Yet incredibly,
There we go.
by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to
I'm a
input
genius.
the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Sucker.
Stanley ventured forth as he drew deeper into the bowels of the building. Stanley had no idea where he was or what this place held, and just as he began to think he might not discover a thing, he emerged into a long room to find rows and rows of monitors, screens with a number above it. Stanley noticed, however, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees who worked in the
Well, no,
building.
not random numbers.
His
They're all in
co-workers.
a sequential order.
Even
of
his
some
own
kind.
number, 427, had a place on the wall. But why a setup so elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the wall slid open before him, revealing the
Insanely
ultimate truth
thin
of the
wall.
situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can see that properly. Yeah, you should be able to, but look at that black line. That was the wall. You think they would make it a lot thicker or something, because that would not really work all that well if it were real. Plus, couldn't they make it go a bit higher to, blend into the rest of the geometry, or do you just not want to bother?
An
Who knows?
enormous control panel
But-
Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery. Buttons
So I'm
were
really tired
labeled
right
with
now, I don't know
emotions.
why.
Happy, sad. Levers and knobs
Really,
controlled
because I can't
actions,
understand what the word this thing
walking,
says. It's all
eating,
too low resolution.
doing work, or watching TV. Every input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in.
Control people.
Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor, had been under someone's control, always at the mercy of this machine. Could this have been the only reason employee number 427 was content with his boring job? That a machine had altered his emotions to accept it blindly? He began to feel an unbridled rage, and at the peak of his anger,
Nothing.
something happened. A
Ah!
spark. Stanley looked up and saw the generator overhead, still
Whoa.
providing some small amount of
That's a-
power to the machine.
Why would a generator
Keeping it
be like
alive.
that?
And
I
knowing
don't
that
think that
this
would really
generator was
work
all that
that
kept
well,
the controls running,
I think.
Stanley
don't
moved
know,
to the ladder in
but
the back of the room
pretty sure.
and began to climb towards the rafters.
Hello, ladder. Oh, there you are, ladder. Sorry, ladder. I didn't know where you were for a sec. Climb! And loud footsteps. Now, climb!
The higher Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
I can't open this. God damn it. But you know what? I may not be able to, but I can climb! Looks a bit like the thing from Half-Life, doesn't it? Just a bit. No, I'm not gonna turn it off.
Oh,
Okay.
Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yeah, I did.
After it
What are you
kept you
gonna do
enslaved
about it?
all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Fuck yeah.
Stanley. Stanley. I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
Well, you know what?
You
That's
were
your
meant to
problem,
let it go.
not mine.
Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story
can't I do
off track,
anything?
you're going to have to do better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you have. For example, and I
can't do
believe you'll find
anything!
this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized that he had just initiated the network's
do something!
emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Oh, let's make it say, 2 minutes. Now, this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? Go ahead, play with those controls all you like. The real controls are where I'm sitting. Did you really ever believe you held any power?
Yes!
I think I knew what I
I
was
thought I
doing.
had all the power!
When I erased your co-workers and turned off the machine, I was offering you
Barrels.
freedom.
Barrels. Can you do anything,
Escape.
Barrels?
I didn't have to do that. I've run this story many times, and I don't always set you free. Sometimes you just sit there, day after day after day, doing your job forever, and then dying alone. But when I actually give you the freedom to control your own actions, it's not enough. I let you go, and you trapped yourself just the same. You just weren't made to handle this sort of responsibility, I'm afraid. But you know what you were made for?
No.
Pushing buttons. You get it now? Oh, I'm enjoying this. Tell you what, I'll throw some extra time on the clock just because I'm having so much fun. There we go. You see, I want to watch you for every long second you try to puzzle this out.
Nope.
After all,
Nothing.
it should
Shit,
make
shit,
sense,
shit.
right? The timer, the nuclear detonation, the mysterious facility, it's all here. This is a video game.
Anything in controls? Is there anything, like, interesting?
Except for one
Nope.
thing there, hero. You've got no weapon, no vehicle. You don't even know where you're going. When you saw that timer, you just instinctively started trying to find an exit, didn't you?
Who would
In
it?
fact, I bet you're still looking for a way out. I
Kinda.
bet you're clicking on everything in this room, trying to open doors or vents or something and
Fuck
solve
your
the
shit.
puzzle. As though this game has a solution, as though it can be won. That timer is not a catalyst to keep things moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
You're a
This is not a
dick.
challenge. It's a tragedy. It's the moment when the hero realizes that despite his best efforts, he is powerless to his environment.
Damn it, damn
Then
it, damn it, damn
he
it,
lets
damn
go,
it, damn it,
he
damn it.
surrenders,
No!
and he dies.
I will not surrender.
30 seconds, Stanley. 30 seconds. Until a boom, and then nothing. No ending to the story, just you dying. I suppose you could have gotten an actual ending if you played along, but that just wouldn't have been your style, would it? Instead, you'll perish knowing that the only choice you made here was to turn on that machine and to start this
There has to
timer.
be something. There has to be
You won't be
something.
alone,
No,
because I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here to watch every second of your inevitable life from the time we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
No. I'm dead. Okay, oh. Bloody hell, that was interesting. That really was interesting. Now, Gonna get these around back on. I think there's more to this game. Just more endings and such. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut it here. I'll probably just slap another scene or two on the end to get everything else I can find. If I can find enough, I will just make this, like, make 2 separate episodes. Make this its own episode, make another episode. I don't know how much left there is. I know there's a way to beat that part. There very well may be, so I don't know. So, I was going to say this. if it isn't. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut now, or thank you all for watching, and please watch the next part. Watch the next thing I do. This isn't gonna be it. And I really know what I'm gonna do actually. So yeah, if this is its own episode, that was it. Thank you all for watching. If not, we will cut now! I guess we didn't cut, so yeah, that was it. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.